NJ.com and the Star Ledger welcome to the Rutgers Rant, your one-stop podcast for the Scarlet Knights, with your hosts Steve Politti and Rutgers insiders Brian Fonseca and Pat Lenny. Let's start shopping.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Rutgers Rant, our picks pod, our bowl edition picks pod, Pinstripe Bowl. A lot of alliteration there. Getting ready for Rutgers' first bowl game that wasn't rewarded because of COVID-19. It was rewarded because of a 6-win season. Playing Miami. Also, National Signing Days this week, which is one of those things like that used to be really important, early signing period, but so much other stuff going on. The portal has sort of swallowed it whole that we haven't talked a lot about that. So maybe we'll talk a little bit about that. But let's focus on the bowl, guys. This is obviously Rutgers has waited a long time for an opportunity like this. Miami is a big name opponent, so that's going to get some attention. One of these two teams is going in there kind of armed with their best, putting their best foot forward. The other one's Miami. I mean, if you look at it that way, right? I mean, we know that Miami probably, if you were to start this just on the rosters before the portal opened, you would give Miami a huge edge. A lot of those guys are gone now. I mean, so I'm not sure exactly what to expect from Miami.
This is the interesting thing about modern college football, right? Like, you used to have guys opting out of the bowl games because of the NFL. Like, remember Christian McCaffrey did that. I remember it was a humongous deal.
Yeah.
Now it's normal. The issue is like guys you're losing to the transfer portal. Like Tyler Van Dyke, their starting quarterback, is committed to Wisconsin. In the time between this game being announced and within 2 weeks, their starting quarterback left the program and it already has his landing spot. Like, just the way these things move nowadays, which I was never a big fan of bowl games. I never really understood why anyone would be excited. I have a hard time thinking why fans would be excited to watch third string players from Miami playing a game in the Bronx on December 28th against Rutgers. That kind of, bowl games are what they are, exhibition games. I don't know. I was juiced up for this game 2 weeks ago. Now I'm kind of like, what's the point?
When you say that, I think Brian hates America. That's what I thought. Right, Pat? Did you hear what I heard? Like,
okay, I'm going to give him a pass because he wasn't there at Indiana to see how excited these kids were when they clinched the bowl game. So I'll say, like, this meant everything to these kids at Rutgers to get an extra game and to keep the show going. So yeah, Brian does hate America. He hates most things, and he's having a tough week, as we talked about. So understandable. But it is. He does have a point. Like, we just don't know what to expect from Miami because they've got multiple NFL guys that probably are playing. Their starting quarterbacks already at Wisconsin. Their rosters has certainly had plenty of influx. So I will give Mario Cristobal credit. He's a great coach. I think he'll put out a good product. I think Miami, even with some losses, are still going to be a really tough opponent. They score a lot of points. They're very balanced. They play good defense. So there's a lot to unpack here, so let's get into it.
Is he a great coach, Mario Cristobal? Like, I'm going to question you on something you said.
Great job. Did he not do a great job at Oregon?
I mean, X's and O wise, I just think of the disaster early in the season.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
I mean,
that was obviously the worst thing that has ever happened. I mean, just the dumbest play call in the history of
dumbest, yeah. So he's responsible. That's on his record, not
sure.
there.
I will give you that. But
he's done it before too. That was not the first time he's ever done that.
You refresh my memory exactly the circumstances of that because I'm drawing a blank.
So they were playing Georgia Tech at home. They were winning. They had the ball on third down. There was less than 40 seconds on the clock. They literally would have won the game if they kneeled it out. They did not kneel it out. They ran the ball, fumbled the ball. Georgia Tech recovered the ball. And this is the part I think a lot of people forget. Georgia Tech had to drive like 50 yards in 30 seconds to win the game. And Miami somehow didn't have a deep safety. And Georgia Tech threw like a 30-yard bomb touchdown when he was wide open, and they lost the game. One of the biggest choke jobs of all time. And I think that was kind of the moment Miami season cratered, because they were undefeated, but they must have been 4-1, 5-1 at that point. And they just, collapsed, obviously, because there was the really cool camera shot of the guy on the bench, and you see him mouthing to himself, "What the F are we doing? What the F are we doing?" Just kind of speaking for America. And again, yeah, look, I'm with Pat. I think Mario Cristobal is a good coach. I think he builds great programs. I think he makes some completely boneheaded mistakes. Like that.
I wonder if does he regret leaving Oregon now? If you hooked him up to a lie detector test, I mean, if you look at it now, Oregon, I don't know. I think they're in a better position. They're in the Big Ten. They've got Nike's money. You've got a fan base that actually cares, unlike Miami. I mean, look at those shots of the stands at Miami. I mean, no one there down there follows this team. It's like the worst sports market in the world. I don't know. I mean, I thought at the time that was I get it. He's from Florida. Maybe he was going home. Maybe there was some money involved. But at the time, I thought it was a weird move. But it's not the first time Mario Cristobal did something I thought was weird. I mean, we've talked about this. I got on a plane. This is pre-Twitter. Got on the plane. Thought he was the Rutgers head coach. Got off the plane. He was not the Rutgers head coach. Did he talk about that this week? Does that come up in any media with Mario Cristobal?
Not yet. No.
No. We'll see.
I don't know. I do think the Miami thing is, you're right. He played for them. I believe he won a national title for them. He's from Miami. His family's in Miami. Oregon is clearly the better program. It runs itself. It has unlimited money. It has much better followed. But I do think there is something to say about Miami being a sleeping giant, that if they ever do win 11 games again, people will make the 30, 40-minute drive from downtown to wherever the Orange Bowl is and watch the team. So I think Mario had that idea of resurrecting the program he loves. It hasn't been great so far, but I think I can't blame the guy for believing there's untapped potential there.
I think the Orange Bowl's a pile of rubble now, or condominiums.
Yes.
But that's I'm not calling attention to that. I think it's just old thinking. A lot of these, like, Miami was great when it was the U and all this great. Oh, Michael Irvin, Jimmy Johnson. Looking back, college football's changed in a lot of ways. I don't know. I mean, if you're not in one of these, you're not in one of the top conferences. It's hard to be relevant, and Miami is in the ACC, and they're not one of the top teams that you're going to pull out of the ACC when the next merger happens. I don't know, getting a little far afoot here, Pat, but yeah.
Point taken, and it just goes back to like all the talent in Miami and South Florida has to be the most, maybe outside of Texas, Southern California, has to be the most lucrative recruiting soil in the country. When the U was rocking, think of all those guys that just stayed local, built that program up and made it what it was. So I don't know. There's a little bit to it there. Like maybe if you could revive that and keep some of those guys home, you got the making of a great program, but that's obviously a tough, impossible situation to actually do.
The good news is, in the present, if Rutgers beats Miami in a bowl game, that's going to be the takeaway. It's not going to be Rutgers beat the third string quarterback of Miami. It's going to be Rutgers beat Miami. And I think it's a really good opportunity to do so. We've talked about Miami is talented, probably have more depth on the roster than the top guys who have left. Looking at some of they had a really good defense, looking at some of the numbers, and I'm just pulling guys out of here like receiver Xavier Restrepo, 74 receptions, almost 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Good running back Henry Parrish has got 600 yards and 89 carries, 6 touchdowns. So they still have some guys in the game. Get it, your third string quarterback. You see a lot of backups. I just wonder, motivation wise too. Like if you're to pick which one of these two teams is going to be more motivated for this game, I mean, I got to think it's Rutgers by a mile.
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest advantage. To Pat's point, everyone is fired up to play in this game. First bowl game in 9 years. Greg Schiano was historically very good in these bowl games. He is going to get that team up to play. He has almost his entire defense back. All those guys seem like they're going to play in the game based on their announcements that they're coming back. Kyle Monangai is back, obviously. They're going to have, assuming Gavin Wimsatt sticks around, a motivated quarterback to kind of have an audition and showcase why he should stay the starting quarterback at Rutgers. Whereas you have Miami flying up from the gorgeous, that's another thing about Miami compared to Oregon, the gorgeous city of Miami, the beautiful weather, to the Bronx, which will be below freezing temperatures in a baseball stadium again. And you're playing third string guys in a game that, I understand, bowl games are nice. It is completely meaningless. And I don't know if Mario Cristobal can convince his kids otherwise. I think Greg Schiano could convince them they're playing for the national championship, and he will get those guys up. And that will ultimately, I could see this very much being like the Quick Lane Bowl of 2014, where they run through Miami the way they ran through North Carolina, just absolutely bulldoze these guys onto a pretty comfortable win, I think.
Yeah. Why don't the Marlins have a bowl game? Right? They should They should be the Pinstripe Bowl brought to you by the Florida Marlins. That'd be great. Have it down there.
What are the Miami Marlins?
I don't know. You tell
They are
me.
the Miami Marlins, and
Thank
they
you.
average about 10,000 fans per game.
It's
So
the last time. This is the first time I've thought of the Miami Marlins since the 2000.
We should have less football games in baseball stadiums, not more. The Fenway Bowl being the second bowl game in a baseball stadium is already an abomination.
Yeah.
It's never. We should cancel the Pinstripe Bowl and Fenway Bowl, not make the third edition of it, please.
It just meant for us to go someplace warm. I wasn't really thinking more about that than.
Did we ever find out where the Bahamas Bowl landed?
Charlotte, I think.
Charlotte. Yeah. It's not great. It's not great. All right. So the coaches have had a month now to do something, to come up with new things. Pat, what do you think we're going to see from this team? We haven't been at practice, just to be completely, so we can't reveal any secrets because we haven't seen any secrets. Do you think there's going to be some wrinkles here? Is this an opportunity for Kirk Ciarrocca to throw some stuff against the wall and see what sticks?
To throw a screen pass? Are you asking me that?
Throw a screen pass against the wall?
Yeah, throw a screen pass against the wall. No, I think Rutgers is so committed to the offense that they've shown all season long and mastering that offense that they will not. There's no improvisation possible. After watching this offense operate week after week, it was like banging your head against the wall. So I can't imagine that there's going to be anything like completely new and innovative and shocking.
It gave us a couple wrinkles for the Ohio State game, right?
And Gavin Wimsatt running the ball.
But Ohio State, they gave us after the bye week. They gave us a couple little things. That's when we saw the Fumblerooski.
The Fumblerooski. That was terrific.
I mean, I would think I could be wrong. I would think there'd be some, no reason to keep the playbook tight in this one, right? I mean, you're on national TV. It's a showcase. You want people to see, come away with a positive. Look. I mean, I would be surprised if there's not at least something. Brian, tiebreaker. What do you think?
I'd love to know where they hide all these magical, mythical plays that people think are just going to come out of nowhere. It's football, dude. Like, what do you mean? Like, look, an aside to what Pat mentioned, I was watching a lot of Ethan Kaliakmanis film from 2022 when he played under Kirk Ciarrocca, and I heard these magic words multiple times. It's a wide receiver screen. I heard it many times.
Ooh,
wow.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. So maybe he's a changed man and he doesn't do them anymore at Rutgers, but I'm just saying he has called them in the past. Maybe, to Pat's point, we see it at Yankee Stadium. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, we saw it against Michigan and it went for a pick six. So that ended the wide receiver screen.
All dreams of a screen pass died there. Yeah, understandably so. All right. Do we want to make picks? Do you want to pick this game? What is the so what are the situation with the standings? I've completely forgotten. Brian, have you won this already, or do I have a chance to tie you?
I didn't realize this counted. I'm gonna have to pull up the.
It should count, right? Why wouldn't it count?
Absolutely counts.
All I know is I am 12-0 straight up.
Oh boy!
Just so people know, if you bet the money line on what I'm telling you, you'd be a billionaire.
Oh boy! Straight up, huh?
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
I don't even know what the line is to this game, to be honest. Let me look that up now.
I thought I saw 1.5 of Miami by 1.5, right? So basically a pick 'em.
Well, you never know. They could win by one.
It's true. Good point.
Let's see. Vegas Insider.
That's why I said basically.
Let's not do that again.
Yeah, whatever it is going to be it's going to be 1.5.
It looks like the consensus is Miami minus 1.5.
Okay. All right. That's the line. That's what we're going to use. And I think the tiebreaker, you were up a game and I picked Rutgers to beat Maryland, which did not in fact happen. If I remember correctly, you wisely went with the Terps in that game. So you're winning.
I'm not sure. I have a feeling that you're up.
That's not true, is it?
Let me look.
I
have it up.
Okay.
So we were both 7-2-2 against the spread. We were equal.
Yeah.
You picked Rutgers 27, Maryland 21.
That did not happen.
I picked Maryland 24, Rutgers 17.
Yes. What was the line of that game?
The spread was, I don't think I wrote it down in the story. It was less than Rutgers.
You picked Maryland to cover.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was less than Maryland minus 7.
Right. Of course it was. Yeah. So you're winning.
I'm up a game.
You're up a game. Okay. All right. Good to know. Pat, why don't you go first since you're eliminated?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I would be happy to. I really, when I went back and looked and read stuff up on Miami, I I love their balance. I love the way they played. I thought they had a really good season-ending game against Boston College. All things considered, they're going to be down a bunch of players. Tyler Van Dyke, the quarterback, had a great game against Boston College. I think it's a very fair line, but I think the motivation plays a big role in this, and I think Rutgers just has the advantage there. So I am going to go with Rutgers to win and to cover.
Nice. Score?
In a low-scoring affair in the frigid temperatures, we're going to go Rutgers 20-17.
Okay. Sounds about right. All right. I'm gonna go next, Brian, because I'm not gonna make my pick based on your pick. It sounds like you're thinking in the same direction I am. I just think Rutgers is going to win the game. I believe that motivation matters in these games. I think having everybody back matters. I just think that Miami is going to be completely disengaged. If the Rutgers comes out early and gets the ball and punches in the mouth a few times with some good runs, gets Kyle Monangai going. Yeah, I just think this is going to be Rutgers' day. It could be more of the crowd there. They're used to the cold weather, and again, if you look at Miami's records in bowl games, is just terrible. And I have to imagine there's a reason for that, and it could be just because of what we've talked about. There's just a lack of interest in people in the program, people leaving. They don't put a value on it like Rutgers does. And I think Rutgers is going to be up for this one. So I'm going to think it's going to be a pretty decisive Rutgers victory, something along the lines of, let's say, 24-10. How about that?
Completely agree with you. Almost to the exact score I had in my head. Rutgers has the advantage in pretty much everything. They still view this game as a part of the season, an important part to kind of confirm the good season they had, the progress they've made. Greg Schiano will make them treat this game seriously. They bring back most of their players. Miami doesn't. Miami seems like they're on to 2024 already. Maybe this is me kind of projecting, but I think Miami's going to show up because they have to, and they're kind of going to go through the motions and hopefully get home because they don't want to be in the Bronx on the 28th of December in the frigid cold in a baseball stadium. I think Rutgers wins this game fairly comfortably. I will say Rutgers 21, Miami 13. With a third string quarterback against that defense, I can't imagine they score that much. And Rutgers is going to give the ball to Kyle Monangai about 37 times and run it down Miami's throat. And maybe I think there's something Greg Schiano will try to get some revenge on Miami for the Big East days and run up the score a little bit if he can. I'm not saying that's how he feels. I'm not saying I don't have any inside information. I'm just thinking if I was Greg Schiano, I'd want to score like a 35 spot, 42 spot on Miami for old time's sake.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. And 7-6 looks a lot better than 6-7. So it would be a big win for the program, big win for Greg Schiano, and big momentum. We talked about it in the pod earlier in the week, just about how much momentum this program has right now heading into next season. This will be one more thing. If we are right on this one, certainly it would be a good day for the Scarlet Knights. Can we do Boomer Zoomer? Sure. Let's do Boomer Zoomer.
Let's do it.
The final edition of the alumni game. Where people are like trying to want me to do it for basketball season. I'm like, I don't know if it works for basketball. This might be the last one ever. Kind of sad. I'm kind of getting sad about it.
We're not doing it next year?
I don't know. I guess we should come up with something new. We've got all 8 months to think about it. If we do, I guess we could do it again. But we got some of the same schools. Want me to hit you again with the Maryland alumni? I guess I could.
It would be really funny when you give me the same exact names and I'm still like, oh, no. I say we let the fans decide. You guys text us, tweet us, DM us. Yes. Let us know what you think about Boomer Zoomer, and we'll make a decision on that in the coming months.
Yeah, all right. I'm sure that's first and foremost on their mind. But Pat, this easy. This is an easy list. I think he might go at 4 or 5. So I'm going to put it a high over under like at 7.5. I know what you're going.
Yeah, we're going over, baby, for the final one.
The final one.
5 for 5, I'm predicting.
5 for 5. Well, number 1, I think you should get. You ready, Brian?
That's ready as I'll ever be.
For 1 point, can you tell me if Miami alum Dwayne Johnson is?
Is that The Rock, Mr. The Rock?
It is The Rock. Yes, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. I don't know if he graduated, but he was listed on the Miami alumni sheet. So good job. 1 point. I told you it'd be easy. 2 points. I think this is also easy. Can you tell me who Miami alum Gloria Estefan is?
Is she a singer?
She is a singer. Yes. Guess you're not going to give me Gloria Estefan's big song. She's not. Is she? Is she not recording anymore? She's like an entrepreneur.
It's just so hard. She has so many great songs I love that I'm not sure
No.
which one to pick.
She was married to Emilio Estefan. Did you know that? Okay. I'm gonna give it to you. We're grading easily here today. I don't need to. You don't have to give me the whole discography of 90s hits from Gloria Estefan. That's fine. All right, for 3 points. A little harder, but I think you can get it. Jeff Garland. Miami alum Jeff Garland.
Oh, nice.
Is he an entrepreneur?
No, not an entrepreneur.
Is he an actor?
Yep. You're gonna have to give me a role though.
Is he a singer? Oh, he's an actor.
He's an actor. You have to give me a role. Probably a show you've watched a lot.
Does he act? Does he act as an entrepreneur?
He does. I don't think so. No.
Okay. Is he a show I've watched a lot?
Might have watched it. A show that's come up during this segment, in fact.
So not The Sopranos.
No.
Not The Wire.
No.
Is it based in Miami?
No.
Family Matters? Not Family Matters. What's the show with Sofia Vergara?
No. That's,
NCIS?
That's
No.
Modern Family.
Modern Family.
Modern Family. There we go.
No.
Law and Order?
You don't have it.
SpongeBob?
He's Jeff Green. He's Curb Your Enthusiasms. Larry David's pal on Curb Your Enthusiasms, or Murray Goldberg and the Goldbergs, another terrible comedy. The big guy. So, all right, didn't get that one. You can bounce back though.
Damn.
For 4 points, Roy Firestone, Miami alum. Do you know who he is?
Does he own the wheel the company that does wheels and that does like the fires brim? Oh, is that Brimstone?
Bridgestone. Yeah.
Bridgestone.
Yeah.
Firestone.
You really know who Roy Firestone is? Really? It's kind of boomerish, but Pat, do you know who it
I
is?
don't know this one either.
Oh my God. Really? Wow, this is crazy to me.
Who is he?
Roy Firestone, he's one of the great sportscasters. He used to have like his own show on ESPN. I mean, God, yeah, a commentator. Man, Roy Firestone. He was in Miami. He had his own show.
How long did he have?
He was in Letterman.
When did he have his show?
Up close from 80 to 94. It's okay. Maybe you weren't alive then, but
there is a Firestone tire and rubber company, by the way. I looked it up.
All right. That's okay. All right. I thought you'd have that one. A little disappointed. So I don't have much hope for this one. This is a little harder. Can you tell me who Bruce Hornsby is?
Is he a football player?
No.
Actor?
No. He's a musician,
Jazz musician?
pianist. Do you know the song Mandolin Rain? Sometimes plays with Bruce Springsteen. I'm sorry, plays with the Grateful Dead. That's
So
just the way it is. Some things will never change. You know that song?
Oh,
No?
that's classic.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Bruce
one.
Hornsby. Bruce Hornsby, yeah, and the Rain. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So you failed mightily. Womp womp.
I gave a very Miami effort in the Pinstripe Bowl.
You did totally. You mailed in Boomer Zoomer, just like the Hurricanes are going to mail in the Pinstripe Bowl. That's fair. All
You
right.
showed up like Rutgers bringing out these freaking
Well, I didn't. Again, I thought Roy Firestone. Maybe that's a little bit before your time. I just assumed, as a sports addict, as a junkie, as an ESPN guy, that you would have. I mean, he was in Jerry Maguire. All about that.
I did watch
Wow.
that movie.
Yeah.
I did.
All right. You got anything for me?
No, much like Miami, I am ill prepared and did not get a Zoomer word. You got anything, Pat?
I'm Googling as
Wait, weren't you guys going through? I thought you were going through Zoomer words during Shannon's before Shannon's press conference. That's not what you were doing. All you little Zoomers go off in the corner and giggle.
See, it's just been so much time. Like, I feel for Miami because there's just so much time that you forget about these things. Wait, I might have one. Okay, all right. This is an acronym.
An acronym?
Jomo.
Jomo. Huh. No, I don't got the JOMO. Is it like when you've got momentum? It's an acronym though, you said. Job momentum? No.
No. So you know what
No.
FOMO is?
FOMO is fear of missing out. Oh.
So JOMO is the joy of missing out.
Oh, I love some JOMO, man. Let me tell you something. Yes, there is no occasion that I don't feel JOMO over. That's great. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Hmm,
there you
gonna
go.
use that. Yes. Man. Okay. Good one. All right. I like it. All right. You crazy Zoomers.
I got one. If you're
You
ready,
do?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty simple, but in 2 minutes of research, this is what I got. Do you know what it means to be out of pocket?
To be out of pocket. I mean, that's can't be reached. That's what it used to mean. Is it? Did you Zoomers change the meaning of that?
Yes.
No.
When
Oh.
something is out of pocket or someone is out of pocket.
Someone's out of pocket. That means they're no longer single. What does it mean? I don't know.
It is to when you say something that goes a little too far, like when you're
Oh.
too extreme, when you're too, like you're out of pocket, man. Like it's a bit much.
Right. To use in a sentence, Brandon Knight been out of pocket this week. You know, I guess that's probably too obvious.
It's pretty good. That's pretty
It's a
good.
good one. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't. That's yeah, it's a good one. I like it. All right. Okay. Got some JOMO over that. All right. Good job. Not really.
Nice.
Thanks for playing along.
It's a fun
Okay.
year.
We're
It was
looking
a
to
fun
finish
year.
line.
Yeah. Someone actually said to me, this is great. Someone sent an email like, is there any chance for us boomers that you can compile a list of all the Zoomer words and like, and of course, since we're Zoomers and boomers, you'd have to print it up and put it in a print file someplace because we certainly wouldn't be able to find it on the internet. But that was a good idea. I would love to be able to do that. Just get like a book of Zoomer phrases I can keep in my pocket size. I could just pull out when my kids start talking because it's crazy the number of words they throw around that I don't understand. All right, good job, guys. Anything else we got to talk about this episode before we sign off? Is that it? I mean, obviously, we want to wish happy holidays to everybody who listens. I think that's a good thing we can end with. This won't be our final podcast of the year, but it'll be the final podcast before the holidays, and certainly want to wish a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, every possible holiday to all of our listeners. You guys make this possible. To the folks at Rutgers who help us. Chris Palladino and Devco to the Helix. It's coming. It is coming. I've seen pictures, man. It's coming and it's booked solid. Anybody else?
No, yeah. Thank you to the listeners for listening. Thank you for all the interactions, good and bad, and for making this fun. I enjoy doing this podcast with you guys. I think we've had a good year. I think we've had some really good episodes, and a big part of that is because we know there are a loyal group of listeners who will show up to a random bar in New Brunswick on a weekday night to listen with us. And you guys are a big reason why this job is really fun. And I hope that into the new year, I know we'll talk to you before then, but into the new year, this continues and we keep having fun together.
Absolutely. All right. On that note, Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night. And we'll be back after the Pinstripe Bowl. If some of you are there and you have JOMO, don't worry. We will be there to report the whole thing. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening to the Rutgers Rant. To participate in the conversation and receive live updates about the Scarlet Knights directly to your phone, sign up at NJ.com/insider.